So if we go now to the browser, now is Demola here? No, Demola is not here. You see? Okay. Now let us try to integrate this in an HTML. Where is my JavaScript folder? There's this one. I'm going to create a file. I will call it index, or let me say grading, grading system dot HTML. I hope this is very familiar to everyone in the class.
Yes, sir.
And I say um within my key tag, I say enter your score here. The reason why until now I try to desist from HTML is because I want you all to get to the level of what we call the DOM, the document object model. But based on Demola's question last class, I said, okay, let me even demonstrate a sample. But in the course of my demonstration, you may not, some of you may not understand what I will do so, in some areas, but don't worry about that. It's just for me to demonstrate the interconnectivity between HTML and JavaScript. So let's say I have an input form here. I hope you guys still remember, you can still recollect this. If I run this, you will see, and please enter your score here, right? Now, I'm going to integrate my JavaScript by using the script tag. And I will just put a p tag here, and I'll give it an ID of res results. So mm, I'm trying to think how best to present this. Okay, instead of that, let me put a button. I'm going to put a button here. Input. Type button. Okay. So once I click, I should see my result. Okay. So I'm going to now put an empty tag here. I will call this ID result. Now, I want, can you give me like 5 minutes, please? So now I'm going to do something here, but don't worry about this one yet. I will create a function. I will say grade. And there'll be a parameter called score. No, I won't use parameter here. So now I need whatever is typed in here. I should be able to get this value out. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, good. So I should be able to get this value out from this input box, then determine the grade this number should be in. Now, to get that value out, there's something called the document dot get should I use get element? Let me see, let me see, let me see. No, I won't use get element. Document dot query selector. Now, don't worry about this. Like I said earlier on, we are still going to get to this level. So I'm trying to query this input. Input. Okay, there's another input here which I cannot use. Okay, let me use an ID. Let me give this an ID so that there'll be difference. An ID called score. So query the ID of score, then dot value. Let me see. Okay, before I even do this, okay, let me even see what this will return to me. Console, no, alert the value. So I'm going to call this on the button of click called grade. Let me see if I can capture this first. 78. So there goes the result. So I can capture it. You can see I'm capturing it very well. Now, because I'm using test here, the value, the type of the data type that is being returned here by this value is a string. But I need to convert it into a float. Hence, I will use pass. This pass means convert to a float document. Convert everything into a float, then assign it into a variable called score. So what is happening is I'm tapping into the value inside this test, converting it into a number, then storing it into this variable. Remember, this is a variable that stores only one item. Let me be sure that I can access that again. Score. I'm going back to the code. I will put 50 now, this or 60 this time. Result. Yes, I can still access it. But this time, the data type is no longer a string. You can see already. You can see from the IntelliSense here, it's a number. But if I over on this, maybe let me see whether it will get here. You can see this is what a string here, right? It will return me a string. This string, right? So I need to convert that string to a number, which it converted into a number here. Then now I have a number, which I can now use in my comparison, which is the if then. So I will now do if score is greater or equal to 95, and at the same time that number is less than the score is less than so but it must be less than or equal to 100. So when the score is between this 95 and 100, I should now display the result A within this result. That's okay. Document dot get, okay, let me use get element by ID here of result, this result dot test content. I can use test content. Now I'm going to assign your grade. Your grade is A plus. Let's just test that condition first. So let's say I have 98. Now you can see your grade is A plus right there. So let's continue. Is there any question so far? Don't ask me question on function, on document. Don't worry. Like I said, I did not want to go into this at this level. But because of the question asked in the last class by Ademola, because he asked the question, why are we learning JavaScript? Why are we not learning HTML? And I told him, hold on, please. So, and I told him that, yes, everything worked together. and I'm trying to show an example at this level. And don't, like I said, don't bother about this. We are still coming into all this dumb, because we call this a dumb assessing the DOM as a document object model. So let's go on. Now, if this condition is not satisfied, then I need to cover another condition using the else if. And that condition, let me just copy this to save my time. Now, less than 95. But let me see what is greater than 75. 75. So I want the result to be I think A, right? Is it A? Yes, A, not A plus. As if the result is between less than 75 but greater than what again? 65. 65. Greater than or equal to 65. Then you have a B. Else if the score is less than 65 but greater or equal to 50. Let me confirm that. Yes, 50. You have a C. Else if the score is less than 50 but greater or equal to 45, you have a D. Else if the score is greater than 0 or less than 45, your grade is F, which means failure. No, okay, pass. 45, 50, pass. 45. Wait a minute. Okay, instead of hold on, let me see. C pass. Okay, instead of D. A pass. So this is failure. Now, else, if there's anything outside this range, you can now put something like you have entered an invalid score. Is there any question on this if then else statements? This is where the attention should be drawn to. Is there any question on what I highlighted? Joshua. Joshua, is there any question on what I just highlighted?
No, sir.
Feromi, is there any question on what I just highlighted?
No, sir.
Okay. So let us run our code. So if I enter 101, 101 is more than 100%, so I should have an invalid score. Or if I do 99.8, then your grade is A plus. If I do 74.5 or 0.6, your grade is B plus. If I do 60, your grade is C. If I do 52, it's 6C. If I do 49, no, 49, not 59, 49, your grade is a pass. If I do 30, your grade is F, which means failure. If I do -1, you have entered an invalid score. So, this is a typical example how you relate your JavaScript with your HTML. And this is exactly what we are going to be doing later. Is there any question? Is there any question from anyone? Okay, I want to take that as no question. So I will proceed now to what is called the switch statement. The switch statement. Now, if you look at our last example, we use so many else if, else if, else if, else if, right? Else if, and so on and so forth. When you find yourself using many else ifs like that, else if, then else, it is better you use switch instead. And the reason is just for performance reason. That's nothing else. Performance reason, and also it is much easier to read with a switch statement. So just like we have if, then the condition and the code block, similarly we have the switch, the condition, and the code block. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Good. So let us try to implement the same last example using a switch statement. But before we do that, let me explain what the switch is all about. We have a variable like the score, and we have maybe say 50 or 55. And on this score, on this variable, we now switch on it. Switch on that variable score. Then we open our our code block. So instead of the if else if we use case. Case when the score is maybe, for example, 55. Or I'm not going to use this. I'm just only telling you, trying to explain what switch is all about. When it is 55, then do something. And after this, we apply what a break statement. Oh, Okay, that break statement. Break. Okay, let's go on. Then for another case E, if the score is maybe 60, we do another thing, then we break. But already in your mind, you'll be wondering, how am I going to do for all the numbers? Like, am I going to now do case for 55.1, case for 55.12, and so on and so forth? No, we can't be doing that. Rather, we use the range. When score is greater than or equal to something, at the same time less than something, that is what we are going to be using. But before I go further, let's say we have a finite, because number is infinite. Let's say we have a finite variable called day, and you know that we have Monday to Sunday. So this is we can use this in such situation. So which simply means that if the day value, so I'm going to change this one then. I'm going to change this one to day. Let me use lowercase d. I'm going to switch on day. Case is Monday. We do something. Case is Tuesday. We do something. Case is Wednesday, and so on and so forth till Sunday. Case is Sunday. Column, we do something, then we break. We break. Now, if anything is outside this Monday to Sunday, then we use default. Default is similar to the else of the if, else, if, the else statement. Then we do something. Then we break again. We break. Now, but when we are dealing with infinite number, okay, before I go into that, let me demonstrate what is going on in a switch statement. Let's say I have a Thursday here. The day is Thursday, and I'm switching on the day. So this is now Thursday here. Thursday. So what happens is this: it will come into this. This will now compare. Is Monday Thursday? No, it's not. So it's false. It will leave this one and go to the next one. Is the day Tuesday? Is Tuesday and Thursday the same thing? It is false. It will leave and go to the next one, Wednesday. Is Wednesday and Thursday the same thing? No. It will remove it and go to the next one, Thursday. So is Thursday and Thursday, are they equal? Yes. So that is a true statement. So this is where I'm going. The moment we have this true, it will not execute the statement under that case. Is there any question? Is there any question? No question. Now, let us now come to the infinite number, where we have score. We have a number, right, which we do not know. It can be any number. And we are now trying to use the switch statement. Switch. I'm going to switch not on score, not on this variable, but I'm going to switch on true. So case when score is greater or equal to 95 and score is less than or equal to 100. Column, run this code. I'm going to break. So which simply means if this score, let's say is 98, we have 98 there. 98 is greater than 95, which is true. 98 is less than or equal to 100, which is true. True and true is, we give me true. And since true is the same as this true here, then this will run. All this, whatever code I have here, the statement, it will execute. So that is how I'm going to do for the rest of the case until default, which is the else. Let us quickly go to the visual code to demonstrate this. So since already I have the HTML in place, let me just continue with this. I'm going to remove this if then else statement. I'm going to comment it out. I don't need that one again. Now I'm going to use switch. So switch. When it is true. Case when the score is greater than 95 but less than 100, execute this statement. Then I will break. I'm going to copy this and paste right there. Let me indent this back. Then 75 and 95, less than 95. then this is a B. No, A rather. So I'm copying this again. Take this back, indent it. When it is less than 75, but greater than or equal to 65, I have a B. Less than 65, greater than 50. You have a C. Then this one is what? Less than 50, but greater than 45. That's a pass. Less than 45, but greater than or equal to 0. The grade is F. Oh, yes, less than this. So I have F. Okay. So when it's any other thing falls outside that, I'm going to do this. You've entered an invalid score. Is there any question on what I did here? Is there any question? Joshua, do you have question, Joshua?
No, sir.
Okay. Peromi, do you have any question?
No, sir.
Good. Okay. So if I go back to the browser and I run it, you will see I have the same thing. Now, let me explain one more time. What is going on in the switch statement is this. This will be evaluated. Then it will now be compared to this, to the value here. If they are equal, then this will be executed. But if this is false, if if this return false, so false is not the same as true, it will escape, or it will jump all these code statements and go to the next and try to test, is the score within this range? If this returns true, true is the same as true, then it will execute this statement here. So the same thing applies to the rest. Is there any question? Is there any question to this at this level about what I just explained? No question. Now, I have a question for you. What is the purpose of this break here? David, what is the purpose of this break? David, what is the purpose of that break?
Hello, sir.
Yes, what is the purpose of the break?
It's just to leave the line of code and go to the next one.
Come again.
Like, I think it's to leave the line of code because it's kind of going from top to bottom. So once once the condition is not met, so it breaks from the line of code and goes to the next one to look for anyone that missed the condition.
No,
And
it's
it
wrong.
continues breaking again.
No, it's wrong.
Oh,
That is wrong.
well,
And I kept asking, is there any question? Nobody has seen that to ask me question. Okay, sir, what is the usefulness of the break? Because what I said earlier on is that don't bother about this anything document.get element by ID. I'm still going there. But this is not part of it. Break is not part of it. Break is part of a switch statement. Okay. Now, switch is what we call a fall through technology. It falls through. Now, if you do not cut it off, it will continue to fall. So you need to when this is met, when this condition is met, and you have executed all the statement here, if you do not break it, it will continue to execute every other statement down, down, down.
oh,
Not that it will,
I get it now.
if the condition is not met, it will now go to the next. No. So what is happening is that once this is true, once this condition is true, and true is same as true, it will now execute this statement. And for it not to go and be executing all these other statements, you need this break. So once it gets to this line 20, break, it will now take the control down to this and exit. It will now exit this switch statement.
Okay, sir.
However, if this is false, if this one is false, it will not even look anything here. It will come to the next one. If this one too is false, if it's false and true, they are not the same, it will not look anything here. It will come to this next one. If this one too is false and true is not, it will escape this one, it will leave this one and come here. But once this one is now true is same as true, it will now execute this one. And if this break is not there, it will go down and execute this one. If this break is not there, it will go down and execute this one. If this break is not there, it will go down and execute this one. But that is the reason why we need this break. Once it gets here, it will go down here and go out of the switch. And so that it will not execute this, it will not execute it, it will not execute this. Give me like 2-3 minutes so that I will come back to demonstrate what I just explained. I will remove this break and you see what I'm talking about. Let me clear the board. I'm coming. Just 3 minutes, please. Okay. So let me comment out this break. And let me now go to the browser. If I put 98 here, for example, you expect that this will be printed out because 98 falls in between here. In actual sense, yes, that is exactly what happened. But remember, like I said, this, because there's no break here, this one will be executed. This one will be written. It's like you writing this one first, then this one now overwrites this one. This one will now overwrite this one. This other one will now overwrite this one. This other one will overwrite this one, and this one will overwrite this one. And at the end, this one will now overwrite this one. So let's see. 98 results. You have entered an invalid score because it's a fall through, because we do not have this break. But if I put this break right here, this break right there, if I run the code, you will see, oh, 798 now. You see your grade is A+. Why? Because the value is true and this one is executed and it got to this break, it now exited this switch. It jumps from here and get out of this switch statement. If I do not put the break here and I put, say, the break right here, if the break is here, you will see it will print this one out. Because this one will be printed first, but later this will now overwrite this one. 98. Your grade is A. You can see this one is printed. Let me bring comment that one out and let me just comment this one. Now your grade is C will be printed even if the value is in between 95 and 100. 98. Your grade is C. Is there any question? Is there any question? Joshua, is there any question?
No. No, sir.
Peromi, is there any question?
No, sir.
David, is there any question?
No, sir.
Okay. If I change, I want to demonstrate something so that you see it. Maybe just for clarity's sake. Let me come find this and replace with console the log. Oh, what is this one doing here? Okay. Take all is fine. I'm going to remove all the breaks. No, undo. No break at all. I'm going to run it again. But this time, the result is printed on the console, 98. If I go to the console, let me expand it. You will see, just to tell you that everything is printed. This is printed, 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 this is printed. You can see A plus, A, B, C, P, F, and invalid score. Because the moment this is true, it will start executing everything down to the last. But if I break it here, for example, if I break it at C, it will stop at C. Let's go back, 98. Results, you can see A plus, A, B, C. That is the reason why the break is very, very, very important in a switch statement. Break is important. But if you know you want to group certain conditions together, then you can remove the break. In fact, you can even remove all these conditions, all these ones. So if I go back now to run my code, 98 again, you will see that your grade is A plus is only printed. I'm going to stop here for today because I don't want to overload you with too much information, and that is one. And also, others are not in class today, this Saturday. It is just that I cannot do without teaching something. People should respect the time. We did a ballot system to agree on this time and day. But yet, many people are not still honoring it. No, there's no issue. It depends on what you are looking for. It depends on on your capacity. Some people have the capacity that once they watch the video, yes, they are good. No problem. That's fine. If that's the case, and that's the reason why the recording is being stored and shared. So, is there any question before we call it a day? Hmm? Okay, no question. All right. So I'm going to post an assignment on switch. I want you to use both, no, not just switch, both if, else if, and the else statement and switch statement to do that assignment. I repeat, let me annotate for clarity. There will be an assignment. So I will give a problem statement on the group. Then you use the if, else, if, else statement. This is one. Roman figure 1, then Roman figure 2. You use a switch statement to solve this problem. So I will share the assignment on the group. And I will share this code also on the group. Well, you don't want it? Do you want the code or not? Okay. All right. Have a nice day.
So we want the code. Oh shit.
It's okay. I've heard you, David.
My network has been misbehaving, that's why.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. See you on
Good night,
Tuesday.
sir.
Good night.